Welcome to our podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we will talk about a solar eclipse that will soon darken skies for 6 minutes. Is your city getting a front row seat? A historic solar eclipse is set to take place on August 2nd, 2027. The sun will be hidden from sight, plunging the world into darkness for a total of 6 minutes. The longest total solar eclipse in recorded history happened on June 15, 743 BC, when everything went dark for 7 minutes and 28 seconds. The path of totality of the eclipse is approximately 275 kilometers wide, as it will cover several continents. It is also being called the Great North African Eclipse, because it will cover several countries in Africa. The 2027 solar eclipse is special for its duration and also because something like this is not going to happen for another 100 years. The next such event will occur in 2114. It will start over the Atlantic Ocean and travel through the Strait of Gibraltar, southern Spain, northern Africa, and stretch into the Arabian Peninsula. It will fade over the Indian Ocean. Its huge path means it will be visible to millions of people. The Great North African Eclipse is a result of a rare cosmic alignment involving the Sun, the Moon, and Earth. All three bodies will be in a position that would make the eclipse last long. Earth will be at aphelion, its farthest point from the Sun, from where our star will appear smaller. At the same time, the Moon will be at perigee, its closest point to Earth, making it appear larger. The Moon will cast its shadow on a path near the equator and move more slowly. This would make the total solar eclipse last longer. Everyone who is right on the path of totality will get to see the shadow lingering for even longer. The 2027 solar eclipse will begin in the Atlantic Ocean and make landfall around the Strait of Gibraltar. Totality will first be visible in southern Spain, Gibraltar, and Morocco. Next in line will be Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt, where the eclipse will occur when the sun is at its highest point in the sky. It will then cross the Red Sea, plunging Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Somalia into darkness. In the Spanish cities of Cadiz and Malaga, it would be completely dark for over 4 minutes. Morocco's Tangier and Tetuan will be two of the best places to see the total solar eclipse, as they will be right under the central shadow stripe. Benghazi in Libya would also make for a good haunt, as the dark skies will last nearly 5 minutes. Near Egypt's historic city of Luxor, it will be pitch black for more than 6 minutes. Italy's island of Lampedusa would have almost total coverage. Saudi Arabia's Jeddah and Mecca, and parts of Yemen and Somalia, would be the last ones to see the eclipse. However, the 2027 solar eclipse won't be visible in India.
Elon Musk's humanoid robot just got a lot more human. Tesla's Optimus, first seen folding laundry and playing rock, paper, scissors, has now learned a new party trick: serving popcorn. In a video shared on X, the robot is seen filling a bag of popcorn, without spilling a single kernel, then handing it over with a thumbs up and a wave. Now, according to Grok, the location was the soft opening of the Tesla diner and supercharger station on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. Musk, meanwhile, had a simple message that this will become normal in a few years, but Tesla's robotics journey has not been smooth. From its debut in 2021 to a prototype in 2022 and a new timeline for commercial sales in 2026, Optimus is still a work in progress. At Tesla's We Robot event last year, most demos were still remote control, proving full autonomy is not here yet. But popcorn or not, Optimus is getting closer to Musk's vision, where robots could soon mow you alone, walk your dog, or even babysit your baby.
Tesla Diner in Hollywood, ready to serve you some popcorn or answer any questions.
Awesome, thank you very much.
A man is dead after being pulled into an MRI machine while wearing a metal chain. This happened in Westbury, New York on Wednesday. Officers say they responded to NASA Open MRI after receiving reports that the man had entered an unauthorized MRI room while a scan was in progress. He was taken to the hospital where he died Thursday. Investigation now ongoing.
Welcome back to Beyond Wild is One, and thank you for staying with us. I'm Eric Kunzoka. The headlines. Syria holds mass funeral amid uneasy calm. A Syria monitor says the death toll from violence in the country's south involving Druze fighters and their Bedouin rivals has crossed 1,000. Hunger crisis worsens in Gaza. Palestinian authorities say at least 73 people killed in Israeli fire while they waited for United Nations aid trucks in northern Gaza. This as Israel issues new evacuation orders for areas packed with displaced Gazans. A Delta Airlines plane engine catches fire during takeoff from Los Angeles airport, forcing the plane to turn back shortly after its departure to make an emergency landing. The monsoon session of the Indian Parliament is set for a stormy start on Monday. Opposition gears up to confront the government on Pahalgam terror attack and Trump claims on ceasefire. Centre says ready to discuss Operation Sindoor. Poll workers begin counting votes in Japan's upper house election. Exit polls predict Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's coalition is set to lose its majority in a result that could end his premiership. At least one person dead and several others injured after a massive fire broke out at Iran's oldest and largest oil refinery. The fire broke out due to a leaky pump in an under-repair unit of the Abadan oil facility. At least 17 dead in once-in-a-century storm in South Korea. 12 people are still missing after 5 days of torrential rains in the country's southern regions. Boeing is once again facing questions over safety. A Delta Boeing 767 aircraft's engine caught fire mid-air soon after takeoff. Luckily, all the passengers of the plane landed safely. Delta Boeing 767 took off from Los Angeles and was bound for Atlanta, but shortly after takeoff, pilots detected signs of a fire in the aircraft's left engine, prompting emergency landing back to the LA airport.
Whoa, hang on. That's not good. That's not good, guys. I'm turning up ATC, I don't hear anything. Whoa! I'm guessing compressor stall, but that's speculation.
Well, that footage went viral. It showed flames erupting from the left engine as the aircraft turned back over southern Los Angeles. In the video, the jet is seen flying steadily while a fireball blazes beneath one wing. As the aircraft descended, the fire appeared to subside. The landing gear deployed as expected and the plane touched down safely with the engine no longer visibly burning. A day earlier, another Boeing jet made emergency landing due to a technical glitch in India. An Air India Express flight to Phuket returned to Hyderabad shortly after takeoff. A Boeing 737 MAX 8 remained airborne just for 16 minutes before returning to Hyderabad. Last week, at least 6 Air India international flights were cancelled within 24 hours. The reasons included technical glitches and aircraft unavailability. 6 among the cancelled flights were scheduled to be operated by Boeing 7878 or 787-8 Dreamliners, which is the same passenger mode involved in the Ahmedabad crash on 12th of June. Frequent cancellations, emergency landings and crash that killed 260 passengers in Ahmedabad, the lingering doubt over Boeing's planes may not vanish quickly. The airplane brand that was once known for its safety standards is turning into a scare in the sky. The humanitarian crisis is deepening in Gaza, with long lines of desperate, hungry Palestinians gathering in hopes of receiving essential aid and suddenly being killed. Gaza Health Ministry says at least 73 civilians were killed and 150 others were wounded while waiting for humanitarian aid across the Strip. The most devastating incident took place near the Zikin crossing in northern Gaza, where officials say 67 Palestinians lost their lives as they crowded around a United Nations aid truck. Eyewitnesses described the moment of panic and confusion as desperate residents rushed towards the incoming aid, seeking to secure food and supplies amid intensifying shortages.
We were at aid distribution point waiting for aid. We saw the trucks approaching, so we moved toward them. They started shooting. We raised our hands like this. We were running and signaling to the Jews that we had nothing, that we were peaceful. Then the Jews started shooting at us. Some were martyred, others were injured. We were just going to get food, to bring food for our children.
Local hospitals and health officials described the situation as overwhelming. Medical staff at the Al-Shifa hospital reported that the sudden influx of injured individuals strained their resources beyond capacity. The Israeli military said its forces fired warning shots to disperse what it called an immediate threat from a large crowd. In Gaza's Khan Yunis, a 3-month-old infant lost his life due to malnutrition. The grief-stricken mother held on to the small, shrouded body of her child while surrounded by the relatives during the funeral ceremony. The infant reportedly was surviving only on water as his mother, herself malnourished, was unable to breastfeed her child.
Since he was born, he is only drinking anise and water. Other than that, he drinks nothing. There is no baby formula in the Gaza Strip for the children to get food that would keep them going.
In central Gaza's Nuseirat, people banged on empty pots at food distribution points demanding aid and the reopening of crossings. At Nasser Hospital, a special ward has been set up just to treat malnourished children, with cases rising sharply. The World Food Programme says nearly 1 in 3 Gazans are skipping meals entire day, and thousands are now on the brink of catastrophic hunger.
We do not eat enough. I don't eat. I leave the food I receive for my daughter. I have high blood pressure, chondritis, and diabetes. I lost 35 kilos to provide food for my children.
Thousands of Palestinians made their way along the road leading to an aid distribution center in northern Gaza. These are the images showing desperate Gazans walking for hours in anticipation to find some food supplies. Some could be seen returning home with sacks of flour, clutching what little they managed to secure to feed their families.
I came to get flour for my children because I have none at home. You know the situation here is difficult, and the world watches without asking about us. That's why we take the risk ourselves, knowing it's a risk, with the chance we might not return. But we have to try. It's my first time here, but there's no choice. I have to come.
Meanwhile, Pope Leo has called for an immediate end to what he described as the barbarity of war, voicing deep anguish after a deadly Israeli strike on Gaza's only Catholic church this week in the Gaza city. In the attack, 3 people were killed and several others were injured, including the parish priest.
This act sadly adds to the ongoing military attacks against the civilian population and places of worship in Gaza. Once again, I call for an immediate end to the barbarity of war.
No more chants, no more signs, but a 3-hour-long prayer service organized by the Miccosukee tribe. I'm Fox 4 Collier County community correspondent Eric Lovelace. Multiple religions, multiple faith groups gathered outside of the entrance of Alligator Alcatraz because they say they are stronger together.
I received a message that there needs to be more prayer. We need to be human beings again. And through prayer, we can connect as human beings.
Feels like you're being an earthling again. Like you're caring for the ship that you're flying on and caring about the people that are with you and not separating them. What the Everglades needs is peace and peaceful people to come through. This is not peace.
We need to come with open minds, open hearts, and accept, everyone. A couple rabbis, a couple ministers, a couple of priests, and people were coming with their anger. We already have a lot of anger going on. We need that to bring together all walks of life in all faiths and spiritualities of how they know how to pray, and invite them to come pray. If there was more love in the world would be a better place.
In Collier County, Eric Lovelace, Fox 4.
And finally, in India, hundreds of devotees took part in the Kanwar Yatra, a sacred journey in Hindu religion. They took holy deep and collected water from the river Ganga in Haridwar. We leave with this report. Thank you for watching.
At least 9 people have reportedly been killed in an armed attack in northwestern Nigeria over the weekend. Many more were abducted in the attack, which took place in Zamfara state on Friday. Violence against locals has recently increased in the area, seemingly stemming from bandit gangs, according to residents. Such armed gangs are responsible for kidnapping thousands and killing several hundreds of people over the past few years. Gunmen frequently storm villages and farms or attack schools and colleges, abducting students. In 2021, over 300 girls were abducted by assailants from a school in Zamfara state, before later being released for a ransom payment from authorities. Nigeria's military and security forces regularly launch counterattacks, but have so far struggled to contain the violence in the region.
Typhoon Wipa has made landfall in the coast of China's Guangdong province. Hong Kong has significantly downgraded storm warning to level 3 as the typhoon skirts away towards coastal China. Visuals show trees being uprooted and scaffoldings giving way, with heavy rain pounding and gusts of winds swaying as the typhoon made its landfall. China's Central Meteorological Bureau has now issued an orange alert for the typhoon with forecasts of heavy rainfall. Nearly 280,000 people in Guangdong have now been relocated as southern coastal China steps up precautionary measures. All water construction operations under the Guangzhou maritime jurisdiction have been halted, and all personnel working for offshore South or the Humen Bridge have been evacuated. Nansha district, the southernmost area of Guangzhou, was one of the first places to be affected by Whipper. Currently, all coastal attractions and facilities in Nansha are shut. Residents in low-lying areas have been evacuated. The main waterway at the Pearl River estuary is under temporary traffic control. The Guangzhou Maritime Bureau has executed access restriction to the sea route. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, torrential rains left a trail of destruction. These are the images of strong winds uprooting trees in Hong Kong. Lives were thrown out of gear with schools shut and public transportation suspended. Government said it had received more than 450 reports of fallen trees, and with 250 people seeking shelter in government-run shelters. Flight services are, however, now set to resume as storm sweeps past Hong Kong. Earlier in the day, at least 500 flights were cancelled, while 400 flights were forced to reschedule. In the Philippines, Typhoon Whipper intensified seasonal rains, leaving one villager dead in the northern province. More than 370,000 people have been impacted due to the typhoon.
Keadaan saat ini di LKP melaporkan bagusnya.
Nanti mau angkat itu barang-barang. Sudah nanti mau angkat itu barang-barang. Sore mari.
Yang sedang mencari ikan di sekitar sini, mereka langsung mengevakuasi dan dibawa ke pulau-pulau terdekat.
A massive fire broke out at Iran's largest and oldest oil refinery during maintenance work at the Abadan facility, leaving one worker dead and several others injured. Emergency teams were quick to take stock of the situation, bringing the blaze under control within 2 hours. Videos of the incident show large flames and plumes of dark smoke rising from the refinery. And according to the Iranian oil ministry, a leaking pump in an under-repair unit sparked the blaze. No indication of sabotage or foul play has emerged. Operations at the unit now remain unaffected. The Abadan refinery is situated roughly 670 kilometers southwest of Tehran in Iran's southwestern Khuzestan province. Operational since 1912, it accounts for around 25% of national fuel production. Its refining capacity exceeds 5.2 million barrels per day.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Erica Lopez. Crews continue to work tirelessly across the western slope to put out fires that have torched thousands of acres of land. Among the ones actively burning tonight is the South Rim fire at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. As of right now, it's 21% contained. Fire officials say they're still several weeks from full containment. It's burned more than 4,000 acres near Montrose County, forcing dozens of people out of their homes. An update on 2 other wildfires burning right now in our state. Crews are making progress on the Sobelly fire in Montrose County. It is now 66% contained. It started because of lightning 9 days ago. It's burned around 2,300 acres. About 100 firefighters are working to contain the Cottonwood Flat Fire in Garfield County. It's burned about 300 acres between Parachute and Rullison, just a little bit south of I-70. It's now 35% contained. Xcel Energy crews are on the scene. They're dealing with damaged power lines. The Grand Valley Fire Protection District is asking people who live in the area right now to limit their water use over the next 24 hours. This is to ensure that there is enough water for fire.
Ну, Шамсе знатно пошатало, попадало.
Breaking news.
And that breaking news, a tsunami watch for Hawaii has been canceled. Again, a tsunami watch has been canceled for the 50th state. The watch was prompted by an earthquake off the east coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula, which occurred at 8:49 this evening with a magnitude 7.5. Our map is indicating several aftershocks at the moment. But once again, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has canceled the tsunami watch that was issued shortly after 9 o'clock this evening, as it investigated whether a destructive Pacific-wide tsunami had been generated by the initial earthquake. It has not. And so once again, the tsunami watch has been canceled. You got the push alerts on your Hawaii News Now weather apps and news apps. And we'll continue to keep close watch on this. But again, the tsunami watch has been canceled.
जो है वो चला जाता तो हिफाजती तदबीर जो है वो इख्तियार करनी पड़ती है। तो हिफाजती इकदाम जो है वो मुकम्मल किए जा रहे हैं और लोगों को इस हवाले से सख्त मुश्किलात का सामना है। हम भी जो है अपने नाज़रीन को लम्हा ब लम्हा जो है वो ये बताते जा रहे हैं कि ये सूरत हाल जो है वो पैदा हो जा रही है। मजीद इस तरह से सूरत हाल
İnemiyor arabadan. Ay ev patladı. Ay gitti ev patladı.
Numa emergency!